Yo, what up, YouTube? CC back today, aka Professor on the Sticks. And what I really want to go over today, I know we had the blogs come out this week on Friday night, and I did a little stream with Scome in Texas to talk about sort of everything. And I felt like we covered a lot, but I wanted to go over a little more detail and see if anyone actually had questions in the chat about anything, my thoughts on Madden 18. And I know that a lot of what we really talked about in the stream and all the information that really came out was more gameplay related. And I know that a lot of people really are sort of curious about MUT. So I would like to give you guys my ideas on how I think MUT 18 should be, right? And that's a tricky subject because we don't really know what it's going to be. But we know what we want them to fix from Madden 17 going forward. And I feel like a lot of what's happened at the end of 17 is how 18 is going to play out, right? We got a couple people in the chat. Kenny, 360 Wee Guy, Sincere, Jake. Appreciate everyone coming by to talk about this. So let's start with the gameplay. Then we'll get to the MUT stuff, right? So the main thing that I really took in myself personally was the competitive mode, right? And because I like to be a competitive player, this is where, all my feelings are really going towards. I don't really care about arcade, and I don't really care about simulation. So if you guys are looking for my opinion on those, I can't really give you an opinion because it would be slanted, and that's just not fair. But for competitive mode, if they implement what they said they were going to implement, I think we will all be very happy. And I say happy, but what I really mean is we'll get what we asked for, right? Now, a lot of stuff is probably not going to make people happy because there's been a tendency over the past few years of Madden of bailouts and being able to make mistakes and not get punished. If you actually get punished for your mistakes, there's going to be a lot of difference really going on within the game, right? I know a lot of the competitive players really want to talk about how okay, well, now if someone gets punished, this is going to be great. But the reality of the situation is literally all of us make bad reads. All of us. We all make bad reads. A lot of people try to go for the big plays quite often. My personal play style limits a lot of the bad reads. I usually try and make every completed pass as easy as possible, right? Whoever is open, I don't care if it's for 1, 5, 10, 15, 20 yards, I don't care. That's where the ball is going. For me, and I don't really have predetermined reads because I'm very good at reading the defense, but I've also been running the same offense for a while. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how people are truly, 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 truly punished. And I hope they are. I hope they are. And I think that in itself will cause a huge swing in players. Not necessarily a change in the players, right? So your top 32 from this year is going to be a completely different top 32. That's not going to happen. What I mean is you're going to get a different play style from the more competitive style of players, where you're not going to be able to just, oh, I know that I can throw this and it's not going to be punished. If I don't catch it, it's an incompletion. Next year, maybe that is an interception, right? Because a lot of the problem in 16 and this year was that you could just chuck the ball up, and your punishment was an incomplete pass, meaning you have 3 more chances to chuck that same blind ass pass up, and you can complete 1 out of 4 fairly easily. So I really do hope that that's there. The target passing is going to be a very exploitive mechanic, 100%, but it's also going to be very hard to master, right? And one main thing I talked about in the stream with Scome in Texas uh, was my thoughts that target passing should be used differently than how a lot of people are thinking about using it, right? And this goes to the point of when the quarterback is looking at a receiver, whoever the primary receiver is that you have set pre-play or during the play, is who you can target pass to. Now, generally, as a creature of habit, as a Madden player, this is where you want to throw the ball to, right? You're thinking, all right, I'm going to go to X, I'm going to go to X, I'm going to go to X, right? And uh, now, if I see the quarterback looking at that receiver, similar to the vision cone that we had before, I know that's probably where he wants to throw the ball. So that's where someone's user, a good user, not just like a crappy user. So a good user is actually going to key in on that and try to go towards that spot. So I think a very big key is going to be not necessarily exploiting the target passing mechanic, but learning how to use it as an additional weapon in the chess game of Madden to be throwing to those non-primary receivers. Right? This is me without playing the game. We got a couple things in the chat here. Talk some questions about Mutt. We got sports gamers online. Kenny. I see my man Ben is in here. Uh, So 360 Wee Guy says he guesses they will just continue to take away broken features, and if there's a fix like what they did with screens and PA and round, uh, similar with the ability to the ability to man people up this year, right? So cross manning, as we've heard, is gone, right? We haven't seen it. We've heard it from a lot of people at EA Play, but cross manning is gone, uh, and it's a terrible thing, right? It was just overpowered this year. But again, it's been in the game for years. It was just started to get exploited this year because it was one of the best forms of defense for the year. You could cross man in 16, you could cross man in 15, but it wasn't a big thing because everyone was rather just sending heaters as opposed to just coverage defense, right? So the fact that it's removed, uh, I have some other opinions about the actual game and how that's going to work, but I'm saving that more for Madden Turf stuff of how I think that I want to attack labbing. So I'm not really going to put that out there. Uh, and Jake says, really hope they fix offensive lineman blocking for run plays. No matter how good your offensive line was, you'll still get stuffed at the line, right? This is a very good point. Stats and ratings need to matter 100%. It has to be one of the most important things in the game is the ratings of the players. What I would like to see most on blocking is downfield blocking. It's something they really removed hard in 16, and it's something that in 15, let me just, that was awesome. I used to run a play in 15 that essentially was working as a makeshift screen because they took out the flanker screen in 15, which was so OP in 25. But I was creating my own screen, and then on the other side of the play, I had a bunch of open routes of man beaters and easy reads through zone. Uh, but because that sort of pseudo screenplay was taken away from downfield blockers, receivers, tight ends, and whatnot, actually picking up the nearest man, it really did hurt. So I would love to see that come back as best as possible. Kenny asks, how about swerving? As far as I understand, swerving is gone. Swerving has also been in the game for a long time. Again, it just wasn't exploited, right? You can go back and look at very, very old Maddens, and you can definitely see a swerve tactic, 100%. Sam, what is up? Appreciate you coming by, my man. Um, so there's a lot that really needs to, change with that. Like if they take away the swerve, the biggest problem is when they take away an ability from a user, right? The swerve uh, technique itself has been in the game, but what made it more popular this year was the fact that the game has become so animation based that you were able on offense to trigger specific animations for players on defense, which is what caused it to seem OP, right? Sports Gamers Online says downfield blocking is back and swerving is gone. I'd love to hear that. That is awesome. That's awesome. Question about my opinion on ID the mic, if I think it will actually work. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to do a good job of helping people pick up very standard blitzes. But I think, again, it's a very exploitive feature. And I'm not going to get into that. I haven't played the game, right? This is just what's in my head, and what's in my head are ways to already exploit this feature itself. Um, but again, without having played it, it's really hard for me to give an opinion on how it functions, as opposed to what we've heard, right? What's up, Kevin? I appreciate you coming by. Uh, all right, so I got see some MUT questions in here about current MUT, right? Uh, that we'll get to. I'll get to all the MUT stuff. 360 Wee Guy says, in old Maddens, you could click on to stop it, not this year because the cornerback just falls. Right, exactly. That's the problem of the animation-based system that we have in place, which I don't like. I hate the controls. What's up, Jay? Jay says, yum, of course. He knows. Uh, Jay Blutfield, dual edge heat be the move. It depends, right? It really depends on the best way to set it up. You can always get heat from so many different ways. Uh, it's going to depend on what they let us do. And I'm going to say is this as creators, right? For the people who spend hundreds of hours in the lab. Um, they took a lot of that away from us in 16 or in 17, right? Took a lot of it away from us. And it was a real pain point with creating creativity between schemes. Uh, Offensively, the schemes will still be the same because people are still going to watch what all the popular players do and on Twitch, right? With the advent of Twitch, this is what has happened, and it's going to continue to happen, right? If you've ever seen me play, I definitely do things differently. Kevin says, "What's up?" Kenny Kerr, loyalty cards move on to next year, correct? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Now, obviously, if you have coins from Madden 17 to use on loyalty cards, do the sets, right? I do have another video up that you guys can go check out of who I think would be good, right? Who I think would really be good to do something with. Otherwise, it's tough. It's tough. Well, it looks like my music sort of stopped here for a bit. Let me reset that. My bad. Uh, Real question, is nanodetection back this year? Nanodetection is a game changer. Uh, as far as I understand, it's back. Um, but to what extent? Hopefully it's a little more fine-tuned. My understanding is last year uh, it was sort of added as a late addition. It was not in the beta, and it was in the final copy of Madden. It's definitely a problem, right? Uh, yep, I agree, sports gamers. So Jake says 99 overall cards like Gronk transfer to Madden 18. I've heard a lot about that, but we haven't seen or had anything confirmed that the loyalty cards that you actually picked you would get. But I know in the years past, the Mutt Master, Ultimate Master, all those little master sets, obviously the cards did transfer over. Is Bunch still in the game next year? Bunch is definitely still in the game. Kenny says, do you know when you put a cornerback or linebacker in a certain zone, you set it up perfectly for the interception, and the defender bats it down? You think they'll fix that? I hope so. That's the idea in competitive mode, that a player with a better catch rating will actually hold on to the ball. We just need to know what that threshold is, right? What's the threshold for a CPU-controlled defender catching the ball at a consistent rate? Is it 70 catch, 80 catch, 90 catch, 60 catch? Really depends. Is Duarte in Madden 18? You gotta ask Kay. I don't know. If he's still in the league, he'll be in the game. Kevin says, I heard that we are going to be playing with friends on Ultimate Teams. Yes, there will be MUT squads. Again, I haven't played it. I've only heard a lot of good things about it. Because I haven't played that, and because it's been so far removed from what we used to have in Madden 25 team play, I don't really want to cover that without the knowledge, because my knowledge may be incorrect, and it's just a lot of hearsay. Something I don't really want to do that. Do I think the MVP Aaron Donald set will be included? Probably not. Probably not. But what I want to get into now, unless you guys do bring any more questions, I'll answer whatever you guys have, is MUT. And for MUT this year, we saw the issue of plus ones, right? And the issue of plus ones, in my opinion, came about for two reasons. One, competitive, right? They didn't want the game to look as bad as it did last year in the Madden tournament, right? It was bad seeing all these cards with 99 stats, because I know that a lot of the time when Madden is being developed in a QA sense, QA being quality assurance or testing, they're not testing with 99 speed, 99 agility, 99 excel, 99 jump, 99 catch, all that crap, right? So that's a problem. So they sort of changed it this year. The problem is what they did with changing that and trying to keep stats down but overalls high, is the overall formula is different, and it allowed overalls in MUT to get very high without any true progression in cards, right? And I know you guys always look, and you'll go into regs and you'll see a rating, and it's like, this is a 99. Yeah, the MUT schedule for ratings and the regular team schedule is obviously very different. I hope that's something that they actually do put together. I know MLB has the same thing, and I'm pretty sure NBA does have the same thing as well. Appreciate you coming by, Rob. Epic Jake says, Jake Signs in the stream that plus ones are gone. Not sure it means we'll start the game off much lower overall cards. I don't think we'll start with lower overalls necessarily. I still think we'll probably hit that 90 barrier for release, but what I do expect is stats to be lower, right? So let's look at some base cards from this year to give you an idea of what I mean by stats being lower, right? So let's look at what were considered the best cards at launch, right? What were the best cards at launch? So let's look at 90 to 94, and let's look at the base program, right? And this will give us a very good idea, right? So this Richard Sherman came out with 85 speed, 87 excel, and all that, right? He was a 90 overall. He was super expensive at the beginning of this year. I wouldn't be surprised if these stats, they look low for a 90, but they're going to look even lower for a 90 next year to allow that build of plus twos, you know? So maybe the first Sherman that comes out is an 88 with 83 speed. Then the next Sherman's going to have 85, 87, 91, 94, 97, 99, right? They're going to go all that way up. So I think to use a higher system of progressions for the ratings, they need to start them out lower. And it's going to seem shitty. It's going to seem horrible to us at first. Especially because we're going to compare to 16, 15, 25. God forbid anyone compares to 13 when you had 99s everywhere the first week, right? But it's sort of what needs to happen for the progression to make the cards feel different. And I'm okay with it as long as it doesn't truly feel like it impacts gameplay, right? If MUT feels very slow when we're all playing it online, people are going to have a lot of problem with that, and I think that the complaints will start to come in. But we really need to see how the cards actually progress. One thing I would love to see them bring back, and this isn't my idea, it's something that my man Toke's brought up multiple times, because it's something he loved doing, and it was flashback packs, right? You guys know this year we have flashback sets, right? But you really get to just pick who you want to do, right? Kind of cool, but kind of not. There's no excitement involved, and he says that as a content creator, right? So really would like to see more of these specialty packs be brought in where you can redeem badges or God knows whatever else they're going to put in the game for them. Signatures, veteran packs, all that stuff. Bring more content in, right? The more the better. That keeps us all entailed. Sports Gamer says it was like that at launch, but too many people were fumbling and crying. Yeah, this year the game in Madden 17 at launch was actually really good. There's a couple main problems that people had. And so the patches, as patch went on, they really crumbled the game. Unfortunate, but I mean, that's what happened, right? That's what happened. Which sucks. It sucks. The promos were a huge letdown. For the most part, they were. But what I'm expecting for promos in 18 to look like are these, right? Campaigns. I will get to your question in a second, sports gamers. So I expect a lot of the sets to work like this, right? Where you're going to have the ability to upgrade cards as new cards come out. Not all of them like this, but I really like this method because it keeps value in a lot of the old cards, right? So that, let's just say that this Keanu Neal, we'll use him as an example, he did start out as a silver card, this gold card, right? And let's say they did drop, they said, alright, there's a Team of the Week Keanu Neal, he had a great performance in week 1, you need to add this 75 and 10 other cards, and you get that 81 Keanu Neal, right? Cool. And then let's say dude blows up, and they say he's getting a most feared elite, right? So now all of a sudden you've got to put in some more cards to get that, so on and so forth, right? So I would expect some of the sets to be set up more like this. I kind of like it, but I also like the idea of being able to have the big pull. I don't know how you could ever merge those together. Hopefully the people that actually get paid to make these decisions has an idea, right? Sports Gamers Online says, who am I choosing as my GOAT elites? For my own personal team one, I'm going to choose Julio. But I really do hope we get to see stats on these cards before you have to choose, because that would be absurdly stupid to make people blindly choose an elite, right? As for the actual GOAT cards, again, it's going to depend strictly on speed to me. Whoever's the fastest, whether it's Barry or Dion, is who I'm going to pick. whoever's the fastest in comparison to their base elite. So hopefully we do get that information beforehand, because speed is what matters in Madden. And if you have a slow team, you're kind of screwed. Is the gameplay going to feel different from this year? I have heard running is better, and I've heard juking is actually back. Thankfully, it allows a lot more stick skill in the run game. Love hearing that. Again, I haven't played. This is all sort of second, third-hand opinion, but I've heard that from multiple people that juking is a lot better this year, and I do love it. Sports Gamers says gameplay feels much smoother, which is awesome. Which is awesome. Jay says, I like to play stick. Stick is probably the most underrated play in the game. It's probably the most underrated play in the game, simply because it has the most underrated route in the game. This is more of a gameplay thing. In case you were watching and you're like, what the hell is stick? What is this old man talking about? I'll show you. I'll show you. Stick is great. But stick is great simply because it has one particular... Some sticks are great. Let me go and find you guys a nice stick. So this stick route right here, you can't see it, but the B route, right, how it's an option route, for he does essentially a hitch or an out, is the key. Awesome. 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 You guys should run that more. If you guys watch my videos, you probably think stick's amazing too. But back to Madden 18 and what I really want to see, and I'm gonna rip a few pro packs here, right? We might as well. These coins aren't gonna go anywhere with us. One thing I would also like to see, a change, not necessarily an upgrade. No, it's 214. It's a pack animations. The FIFA pack animations are so awesome. Really, really love them. And I would love to see a bit more of that in MUT. These packs aren't bad animation-wise, but I would love to see just a little bit more in them for the presentation value. Look, see, I mean, like, you can scroll right by an elite and you have no idea, you know? I don't like that. I would like to know that there's something good in the pack when I open it, right? You can still give me the chance to look through and find it, but I would like that bit better, because a lot of times you really just back-to-back elites, of course. A lot of times you're just really scrolling through packs kind of fast. Do you think they'll ever let you create your own uniform? Probably not. Probably not. With the way online play is and how they want to be an esport, there's too much regulating that goes on with what they can cause you to create, the negative things people could create on uniforms, etc., etc. This past Madden, I found more enjoyment from content creators than playing the game. Maybe, yeah, Crosby. I mean, a lot of people, the beginning of MUT was great. We were all having a great time. I played a lot, though. I enjoyed the game more than necessarily watching YouTube. Evan, this is your first stream? Well, you better subscribe, my man. I don't know what you're waiting on. You gotta subscribe. You gotta subscribe. Will there be leaderboards for MUT squads? I haven't heard if there will or won't. I don't think there will be this year. I think there's probably a little more fine-tuning that really needs to go into place. Because people don't necessarily have a 3-person team, right? You can always play with whoever is online. So it's very hard to make an actual leaderboard that way, right? But we'll see. Maybe they have an idea. It's still going to be BS ref in the passer calls. I did hear that there will be when you dive at the quarterback's feet. For some reason, they think that should be in the game. Totally stupid. That's totally stupid. Well, shit. A good elite. Not an expensive one. Any idea what the GOAT players' overalls will be? No. We've just only heard there's elite. I would like to think that the team players that you get to pick are like an 87, and the GOAT player would be like a 90, would sort of be my guess. That's what I would hope, at least. They need to be some different, but these GOAT players should be 90 rated at least. They should be 90 at least. Do I think in Madden 18 the refs will treat the lines like they do in real life? Yeah, probably. Probably, but the lines are pretty bad. But, you know, that's alright. You know. Either way. Just less fluke, right? Like, these packs are just not exciting. You can just scroll through MUT packs so fast and have no idea what's going on, no idea what you're doing. Overall, I do hope overalls matter. Overalls need to matter 100%. Um, I saw a comment on Twitter about someone was saying that they hope that MUT matches people up based on overall, and that's really a terrible idea. The game should never do that. The game should never do that. You think you should be able to make MUT Squad teams like Pro Ev and 2K? Absolutely. I think that's the best way that they could do it going forward. I just don't know that they've implemented it ever. Um, had the chance yet. So, alright, let's go through this next pack. Okay, alright. These packs are kind of trash. Jake Stan said team logo is a chem now. Good point, good point. Team logos are chemistries now, and I love that. I had a call with Jake a while back, months and months and months ago, 6-8 months ago at least, giving some feedback on the game, and I brought up that exact point where I said, and I'm sure that other people had this idea. I'm no way taking credit for the idea, but I said that the biggest form of chemistry is someone who plays on your team, where you actually have chemistry, right? And I said that that needs to be included on every card. Every team needs to have a chemistry, but it shouldn't take up a slot. And it seems like that's what they've done. Hopefully that the team chemistries, honestly, they're all the same, right? They all give the same boosts, regardless of what they are. And hopefully they take a little more people, right? Maybe you need 4 people for tier 1, 8 people for tier 2, and 12 people for tier 3, right? But the chemistry also should go between offense and defense. There shouldn't be anything specific that way. So the stats that it does boost should be very generic stats: speed, strength, agility, acceleration, etc., right? MUT will be on competitive mode. MUT will be on competitive mode. Will packs be ass? They probably will. Packs will probably be ass. But they have to be. Packs have to be terrible. I mean, it's a business model. If you don't understand why packs have to be terrible, you're really not understanding the idea behind the game. Alright. Fuck, that's a lot of talking. If anyone has not subscribed though, please do. I am trying here. I'd like to have pulled one of these ULs that came out. Not the most impressive ULs. Not the most impressive ULs. But yeah, I think MUD 18 is gonna be fine. It's just really gonna depend, and we'll really need to wait for these blogs to come out, and hopefully they come out probably early August would be my guess. You hope for less drunk toe crits. Trust me, me too. Me too. You know, I really do. As one of my best friends, I have to. I hear. I get to see it live, right? And then I usually hear about it right after when he gets off the stream, and he calls and he gets all angry, right? Thoughts on coin sites? No thoughts on that, personally. I don't buy coins. I don't sell coins. They don't really do anything for me. They will not start the year with the ability to buy bundles with coins, because coins are going to be hard to come by. People aren't going to have a lot of coins, right? The coins are very hard to come by. Very, very hard to come by in the beginning of the year. So if you are going to spend money on packs, great day to do it is day 1. Whatever the day the GOAT edition is, or when EA Access comes out, that's when you want to open your packs. Because you can actually get a very good team for very cheap at that point, because people are going to be selling base elites for a lot less than they will be going for it in a week or 2 after that. It would be nice to see more gameplay, but I'm not complaining. Gameplay of Madden 18, if you mean, absolutely. I would love to see actual gameplay. I know that they're probably trying to get game changers to do that, but who knows. Someone said do a UL pack. Alright, if I don't get anything, I'm coming back to punch you in the face, though. We ain't getting anything. 86 Randy White. Let's see if this 86 Randy White goes for anything. Right. Right. I agree, Crosby. I agree. I agree. I saw Kenny. Kevin, you said play a game. I'm not really in the game playing mood tonight, to be honest. Um, this is 8,000 coins. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Um, I not in the game playing mood right now. I will probably do subscriber challenge again in a couple days. In a couple days. Crosby, you're excited you found a new channel. Mine, man, this is gonna be the best channel. If so many people are gonna be missing out at the beginning that they have no idea because I'm gonna give you guys the real information. If I use lotion on my hands, I could be a game changer. Probably. You know, there's a reason why I'm not a game changer, and maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't really. I've never asked to be one. It doesn't really bother me that I am not. You know, I'm not really the kiss ass type of guy to do anything. If any opportunities ever come my way, that's one thing. But I don't really go out looking for opportunities, right? Jacob says pussy. Well, that's wrong, but okay. Kenny says GG. Dominic, yo, what up, Dominic? Call Toke, say stop drinking. Right? When I make videos in 18, will it be head-to-head or salary cap? Both. I'm going to play all the modes. I'm going to play draft champs. I'll play salary cap. I'll play head-to-head. I'll play weekend league. I've played them all, right? I played MUT. I qualified in season 2 on salary cap. I made it. I lost the game to go to groups with. Season 1, I've started to grind, which is DC, but a lot of work stuff took over. Got in sort of a bad mental spot, so I didn't really continue the grind there. 360 Wii Guy. Will I lab with you guys? Not on stream, I won't lab. My lab sessions are very intense, and they're very long, but we do all our labbing for the content on Madden Turf. Some of it's free, which is going to be on our Madden Turf YouTube channel. If you guys aren't following that, you can go find that. And then the rest of the stuff we do put out, and we're redoing all the site work right now, which is why I haven't really been doing as many videos or streams or anything for you guys, because a lot of my time is going towards helping that, because I do help maintain our website. Madden Noobs, hey bro, I'm a huge fan of your channel. Surprised you don't have her 5K, but good luck. You'll get there soon. Appreciate it, man. It's life, man. Take it one day at a time. It's not a race, you know? I'm doing this right now. There's not a lot of you guys here. That's okay, man. I enjoy this. I enjoy this interaction. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many of you guys are here. If there's 2 people here, we'd be having the same conversation, right? What's happening with Toke and EA's relationship? It's not for me to comment on. It's not for me to comment on his business relationships. So, whatever the relationship is, I'm sure, you know, they'll come out. If they bring him down for gameplay, then they'll bring him down for gameplay. If they don't, they don't, you know. But I know that he personally is super busy right now, especially the past couple days. I know his kid's been sick, so he's been a little MIA. And with the moving, there's a lot he's been doing. There's a lot he's been doing. The purple pickle in the chat. Yeah, you guys are young. That's cool. I don't mind. I don't mind. Last chance for any other questions. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, Madden 18, Madden 17, MUT, I'll let you guys put in the chat. And if not, we'll stop the stream and I can go get ready to watch some little TV here at 9 o'clock. It's up to you guys, though. I'll give you guys 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Road to 1,000 Road to 1,000K subscribers. That's 1 million, Kevin. But yes, we are technically on it. We are technically on it. Mandate team seems good when it starts, but then people destroy with the OP plays and annoying blitzes. Not trying to complain. Excuse me. People are going to run what's effective, regardless, in any game, right? It's just the way it is. If you want to be better at Madden, you can either dedicate time, watch a lot of Twitch, and then dedicate time again, or buy an ebook from Madden Turf, and then dedicate the time back. That's the only way you're really going to get good. It takes a lot of time. You see, everything involves time, 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 time. You can't be good at Madden just picking up the controller. You don't have to have a football knowledge base, but you have to put in the time, and it's a lot of time if you really want to get there. Any Journey or Gauntlet in Mud 18? No idea, probably. Jay wants a Patriots drag scheme. You got it, buddy. You got it. Do I think rat catch, possession catch will be more effective next year? It's going to matter more, but not overly. I don't think so. I wouldn't guess. How much harder will Madden become with the new features? Madden won't be any harder. It won't be any harder. And what I mean by that is for the casual player to pick up the game. But what this may introduce is a skill gap, right? And to me, that may give the perception of the game being harder to people. But what it is they're actually not as good as they think they are, right? And that's where the skill gap is going to be created. I really hope skill gap is all the way there. Do I like the idea of motivator cards? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love motivators. They should be more expensive. They should be more expensive. 100%. The Speed Coach is the greatest card I've ever seen in Madden. Honestly. You know? It's great. I have no problem with them. I'm not a fan of abilities, right? Conductor, secure passer. Like, I would just like to see, like, alignment blocks, right? That'd just be nice. Playmaker, battle, like, this, like, it's cute. It's cute. Take identifier of the game, too. It lessens the skill gap. It needs to be out of the game. Hot hands shouldn't be in the game because, shit, you should just catch picks anyway. Tip drill. Again, you should just catch a ball that's bounced up in the air. It's like playing 500 when you're 8 years old, right? You're telling me that these supreme athletes, there's a ball flying up in the air, and they just fucking clap and miss it. It's stupid, right? They need to fix that. Chems should do more. Chems shouldn't do more to player stats. But I think every chemistry that they include should at least be relevant, right? And have relevant stats to go with it. And as long as there's chemistries that add speed, those are going to be the only ones people want, right? Thoughts on promo chems? Don't like promo chems. Only way I'm okay with a promo chem being added is if it is an additional chemistry and it does not take the slot of a current chemistry. If it's completely one additional, fine with it. If it takes the place of anything else, it's shit. Got my favorite player, LT. This LT is the best running back in the game. Don't care what anyone else says. Playmaker pissed you off. They toned it down. Playmaker, it was toned down. But there are still ways to exploit it, even when it was toned down. I'll say that. The Shanti is awesome. Shanti is awesome. Not gonna lie, I definitely put that little bit of information in Goo's ear. Said, somebody needs to make an Ultimate Take of Sean Taylor. And bam, here he is, right? Again, I'm not taking credit, but I'm just definitely saying that I was a very high proponent about it. That someone needed to do it, even when the Ultimate Tickets came out. I was actually at his house when they came out. We were in Orlando for WrestleMania, and I said, if I pull one, I'm making this card. So, shit, I'm thirsty. All right, I give you guys 3 more questions, and then that's it, because I gotta go and get ready for TV. Prediction on most popular formation. Offensively, everyone's going to go into bunch. Creature of habit. Everyone's going to go into bunch. A lot of people are going to look at Jumbo, but my understanding is Jumbo's changed. But people go into bunch, for sure. Right. Why can't they catch the ball? Like, they talk about real-world simulation, but yet they act like these players have the hands from the little guy in the Burger King commercial who can't pick up the Whopper because his hands are too small. That's how they treat these guys. Will I do any type of budget videos next Madden? I will. I'm going to try and do as much as I can with that. I've got some ideas for things I want to do. I don't really want to say anything just so, like, someone who's got a much bigger channel doesn't just jack my idea. Uh, but I do have ideas. I'm very good at investing and playing the market, when to buy, when to sell. So I will try and help you guys out with that as much as I can. As long as also giving you guys my honest reviews. I know that a lot of times when people get my cards or there's new content, they give a review like this card's amazing, but they're not really. They don't look at it the way I look at it. And I honestly, not to be braggy or a dick, but I think I look at the stats a lot better and have a better understanding than a lot of the people that you might guys may be getting information from. Kenny, good night. Appreciate you coming by, my man. And other Kenny, hope solos will be quick. Me too. I do not like playing solos. It is a grind. It feels like a waste of my time. 100%. Time is money in my life. And I have to play 12 hours of solos to get a 95 overall. I feel like I would rather just jump headfirst out of a window sometimes. Um, yeah, Crosby. I mean, no one wants to spend a lot of money. You want to optimize your coins. That's the goal, and hopefully we can help, right? It's not like my team's always pretty good, because I do very well. A lot of my coins do really come from the stats that you were needed for, like you had to be good at competitive or good at winning, right? And that's where a lot of my strong suit came in. That I was able to get Super Bowls and all this stuff faster. Like when those competitor players came out, like I was able to do like 4 of them the first day. You get a lot of coins through stuff like that. Texas Aiden says, hi, appreciate you coming by. It is the end of the stream, but you still came by. So, for everyone that is here, thank you so much for coming by. If you are watching, please subscribe. Leave comments if you guys have any other questions. Madden 17, Madden 18, put them down below so I know. And, yeah, until next time, hope you guys enjoyed this. But I'm CC, and I'm out. Peace.